Like if I want to ask for a pad in school, I must ask for it with my eyes, like in Morse code. Hey, happy National Women's Day. And I thought, what better time to talk about bleeding out of your vagina every month than now? smooth introduction. And I know there are women, people who identify as female, who don't have a vagina, and that's fine. So if you don't have one, then you can maybe recommend this to someone who does. I'm gonna say vagina so many times. I don't think I've ever said vagina so many times. I wanted to talk about menstruation because I have made a new discovery. I must share it with y'all. So I started the ritual bleeding. So I got my period for the first time when I was in 9th grade, which is fairly late, I guess, for some people. But anyway, so I got it, and everyone around me used pads, and they still do. Majority, everyone and anyone uses pads here, and that's fine. Actually, it's not fine. That's why I'm making this video in the first place. I've always used pads, and I've hated them ever since I saw them, and ever since I wore them, I hate them even more. I hate the way they feel, and I hate the way when you stand up after a long time, you can feel the substances oozing out, and you can feel the blood like rushing out, and you feel like you must clench everything in order to keep it back in, and yeah, the whole shebang is not fun. I just hate the idea of sitting in your own blood for like hours on end until you change the pad, and I just hate looking at it every time I go pee or whatever, and like the entire thing. I don't like it. A couple of months ago I decided I was gonna use tampons instead. I don't know what I was thinking. I was on crack, I had exams and I got my period, and I was like, is there any worse time? But I was like, I will use tampons because they seem to be more athletic friendly and stuff. And I went online, I was gonna buy them, but I found something instead called menstrual cups. And I read the reviews, and everyone was like, it's a lifesaver, it's a miracle. And I was like, I must try it. It was fairly cheap. Over here, it cost $200, which is in dollars, that'd be, fuck my math, 200 by about 70, so that's like it's about 2 point something dollars, so it's like super cheap. So I have joined the cult of the menstrual cup woman, and I push it on to anyone that I can. Anybody who I have spoken about them so much, they should freaking sponsor me. Like, I have advertised menstrual cups so much, and nobody I know has like switched over to using them. But so I thought I'd make this video an attempt to push it on to you guys. So I wonder some of you might use it. But before we talk about menstrual cups and why I love them, let's talk about why pads and tampons are like bad. Firstly, and I know this might not be like a super important thing to a lot of you, but it is to me. Like, I will try my best to use things that are eco-friendly as long as they're like feasible, as long as my parents don't kick me out of the house. I will try my best to be very, very eco-friendly. So pads and tampons are not eco-friendly, and they just lay there in the earth forever. They're not like biodegradable. Okay, they don't stay forever, but like, you get the point. Second, the pH of your vagina. If you don't know what pH is, Google it up, chemistry nerds. So the pH of your vagina is 3.5. So what happens when you use a pad or a tampon is it messes with the pH, and that's not good. You shouldn't be altering the pH of down there at all. When you get your period, it's like your emotions and hormones is very out of whack. So if you mess with the pH, that's gonna fuck it up more. Plus, pads and tampons have loads of chemicals in them, some of which are cancerous chemicals, which is not good at all. The way they feel is just horrible. They cause rashes and shit. I hate it so much. They're very, very expensive. Roughly 7 days, which is a really long time. I use like about, let's say, 3 to 4 pads in a day. That's about 21 to 28 pads in a week, which costs a lot. Then tampons cause this thing called toxic shock syndrome, and if you don't know what it is, it's kind of like this horrible thing. But what I understood is that it mixes sort of like the deoxygenated blood with the oxygenated blood, and like that should not be happening. Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's caused death, I think. It's bad. It's bad. Don't use tampons. What I found was menstrual cups, and they're literally the best thing ever. And it's not like they're new, they've been around for like a long time. They like were invented in the 1970s, I think, so they've been around for a long time, but it makes sense why we don't really hear about them as much. They're bad for business for like the pad and tampon companies, because you're gonna buy it only once in like 5 or 10 years, not spending money, then it's bad for business, right? So they're not going to advertise it as much. Now let's talk about why they're so good. Firstly, they're eco-friendly. They're eco-friendly. You're never gonna like buy and dispose of one. They're made of medical grade silicone, so it doesn't alter the pH of your vagina. So here it is. It's blue and it's my favorite color. I love the shade, but that's not really the point. I have not named it. Is it weird if I name my menstrual cup? I don't know. But anyway, it's this tiny little thingy. Let's have like a small lesson on anatomy first. Your uterus lining sheds and it comes down, and blood comes out through your cervix along with mucus and other uterus lining stuff, and it comes out and then it makes its way down and then comes out of your vagina. So what this does is this is your cervix, okay? So it sits there and collects the blood. That's really it. That's really it. So, and when you want to take it out, you just take it out and you empty it down the toilet or wherever you're emptying it. When I tell people this and when I show them that this is the thing that goes inside my body every month, they're like, isn't it uncomfortable? Well, let's bust out those myths. Firstly, it's very comfortable. You sort of like fold it like this, and you push it through your vagina, and it opens up inside and it stays there. And when you're done, you can like pinch it and break the seal and pull it out. It creates a vacuum seal. It has little dots, and it creates a vacuum seal, and it sits there and collects the blood. Then it cannot get lost inside your body. It's physically impossible for it to get lost inside your body. It cannot go like inside. It doesn't have a mind of its own. It cannot go inside your body. It cannot get lost. No matter what you do, it cannot get lost. I promise you. Trust me on this, it cannot get lost. If you're trying it for the first time, when I tried it for the first time, I couldn't get it in because I was putting it sort of above where my vagina is, and yeah, that was not the place to put it in. So I suggest taking a mirror down there, and especially if you've like never had anything up there before, it's kind of like, it's a bit scary. My body sort of like clamped down and was like panic mode. But yeah, if you're trying it out for the first time, I suggest buying some lubricant. That's what I did eventually, and generously lube it up and then pop it up there, and it'll go in way more smoothly. Remember to relax if you're putting it up there, like unhinge your jaw, breathe out, and like stay calm. Stay calm. I really like push it onto people because I want everyone to be able to experience how comfortable it is to use one and not have to worry about it. You can keep it up to like 12 hours inside your body, and I've kept it for longer than that, and there's been no side effects whatsoever, and it doesn't smell or anything, and you cannot feel it anymore. And which is the best part for me, like I hate when I'm on my period throughout the day, it's like consuming like 60% of my brain. I'm like, I'm on my period, and I hate that. So this lets me like completely forget about it, and especially if you're like traveling or something, then you can keep it up there and not have to worry about changing it out or disposing it or whatever. And it's so nice and so comfortable. So really, I urge you to try and give it a shot, because it really is the best thing. Once you do, I promise you, you will never use a pad or tampon again. I said comfortable like a billion times, but it really is. I hope you're having a good day. Try it out if you wanna. How could you not like it? Like, it's so cute. Look at how cute it is. It's so freaking small and cute. I trimmed off the stem of it because it was like sticking out of my vagina and like poking me, and that was annoying. So I trimmed off the stem a bit. But yeah, I promise you, it's not scary. It's very soft. It's made of medical grade silicone. It's really good for your body. I mean, like, you know, to keep up there. You don't have to like boil it every time you take it out of your body. You boil it once at the beginning of your cycle and once at the end, and in between, when you take it out, empty it, you can just like wash it with some pH balanced soap. Make sure the lubricant that you buy is water-based, not oil-based, because oil-based lubricants mess with the silicone, and you don't want to be doing that. You want your cup to last as long as possible, so buy water-based lubricant. Don't be shy to buy lubricant. Like, there's nothing to be shy about, I promise you. If anyone gives you a weird look, give them a weird look back. Like, why? I hate that like we're so ashamed to talk about something that's very, very normal. Like, we talk about sex. Like, if you talk about sex in my college, like, nobody's gonna bat an eye. But if you talk about periods, it's like, shh. And the funny thing is, the boys won't say shh, the girls will. And it's so sad that we're like conditioned to believe it's something that should be kept quiet about, when it's as natural as peeing or pooping. And I find it kind of sad, because if we weren't, we'd be more open about it and like be able to discuss stuff about it. Like, if I want to ask for a pad in school, I must ask for it with my eyes, like in Morse code. If I ask for a pad in normal volume, people around me are gonna be like, sneh, why are you shouting? Yeah, I think you really should try not be ashamed of your own body. I think it's sad that we are living in a society that is. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Hope you have a good day.